And of the many and fair things which the gods do, which is the chief and principal one? I have told you already, Socrates, that to learn all these things accurately will be very tiresome. Let me simply say that piety is learning how to please the gods in word and deed by prayers and sacrifices. That is piety, which is the salvation of families and states, just as the impious, which is unpleasing to the gods, is their ruin and destruction. I think that you could have answered in much fewer words the chief question which I asked, Euthyphro, if you had chosen, but I see plainly that you are not disposed to instruct me, else why, when we had reached the point, did you turn aside? Had you only answered me, I should have learned of you by this time the nature of piety. Now, as the asker of a question is necessarily dependent on the answerer, whither he leads I must follow, and can only ask again, what is the pious, and what is piety? Do you mean that they are a sort of science of praying and sacrificing? Yes, I do. And sacrificing is giving to the gods, and prayer is asking of the gods? Socrates. Upon this view, then, piety is a science of asking and giving? You understand me capitally, Socrates. Yes, my friend. The reason is that I am a votary of your science, and give my mind to it, and therefore nothing which you say will be thrown away upon me. Please then to tell me, what is the nature of this service to the gods? Do you mean that we prefer requests and give gifts to them? Yes, I do. Is not the right way of asking to ask of them what we want? Certain. And the right way of giving is to give to them in return what they want of us. There would be no meaning in an art which gives to anyone that which he does not want. Very true, Socrates. Then piety, Euthyphro, is an art which gods and men have of doing business with one another? That is an expression which you may use if you like, but I have no particular liking for anything but the truth. I wish, however, that you would tell me what benefit accrues to the gods from our gift. That they are the givers of every good to us is clear, but how we can give any good thing to them in return is far from being equally clear. If they give everything, and we give nothing, that must be an affair of business in which we have very greatly the advantage of them. And do you imagine, Socrates, that any benefit accrues to the gods from what they receive of us? But if not, Euthyphro, what sort of gifts do we confer upon the gods? What should we confer upon them but tributes of honor, and as I was just now saying, what is pleasing to them? Piety, then, is pleasing to the gods, but not beneficial or dear to them. I should say that nothing could be dearer. Then once more the assertion is repeated that piety is dear to the gods? No doubt. And when you say this, can you wonder at your words not standing firm but walking away? Will you accuse me of being the Daedalus who makes them walk away, not perceiving that there is another and far greater artist than Daedalus who makes them go round in a circle, and that is yourself? For the argument, as you will perceive, comes round to the same point. I think that you must remember our saying that the holy or pious was not the same as that which is loved of the gods. Do you remember that? I do. And do you not see that what is loved of the gods is holy, and that this is the same as what is dear to them? True. Then either we were wrong in that admission, or, if we were right then, we are wrong now. I suppose that is the case. Then we must begin again and ask, what is piety? That is an inquiry which I shall never be weary of pursuing as far as in me lies, and I entreat you not to scorn me, but to apply your mind to the utmost, and tell me the truth. For if any man knows, you are he. And therefore I shall detain you like Proteus, until you tell. For if you had not certainly known the nature of piety and impiety, I am confident that you would never, on behalf of a serf, have charged your aged father with murder, you would not have run such a risk of doing wrong in the sight of the gods, and you would have had too much respect for the opinions of men. I am sure, therefore, that you know the nature of piety and impiety. Speak out, then, my dear Euthyphro, and do not hide your knowledge.